All right, and now we move to the main event of the evening in the UFC's flyweight division between Kai Don't Blink Kara France, who's ranked at number 3 in the flyweight division, coming in with a record of 24 victories and 10 defeats, going up against the somewhat UFC newcomer, but the 7th ranked flyweight, the finisher, whether it's knockout or submission, in Amir the Prince Albazi, who comes in with an unbelievable professional record of 16 victories with only one lone defeat. But I'm pretty sure it's 15-1, if I'm not mistaken. No, it is 16-1. Yeah, so 16-1 for Amir Albazi. The only loss coming to a guy who used to be in the UFC, in Jose Shorty Torres, via decision. He lost that fight back in April of 2019 at Brave CF 23 via unanimous decision. But Torres was landing big shots on the feet. He was hurting Albazi. He didn't get him out of there, but he did beat him. And then out of his 16 wins, he's got 14 out of 16 victories by way of finish, 2 wins by way of decision. The only loss was that decision loss to Jose Shorty Torres. But Amir Albazi, when it comes to competition level, it's nowhere near the competition level of a Kai Kara France. In the UFC, he's faced guys like Malcolm Gordon, Zolga Sumagulov, Francisco Figueiredo, and Alessandro Costa. I would say the best fighter he faced on this list would be Zolga Sumagulov, followed by Alessandro Costa. In my opinion, he won his UFC fights via triangle choke in the first round, unanimous decision against Zumagulov, rear naked choke in the first round against Figueiredo, and then a knockout via uppercut off that level change feint against Alessandro Costa in his last fight in December of 2022. Amir Albazi is good, and against Kai Kara France, he's going to have the better grappling. He's going to have the better wrestling, the better top control, the better submission ability, the better ability to control the fight if he's able to get the takedowns against Kai Kara France. However, Kai Kara France may have had questionable takedown defense earlier in his UFC career, but at this point in his UFC career, he has very, very good takedown defense, to the point where, Askar Askarov, who was considered to be one of the most well-rounded fighters and a future champion in the division, where Kai Kara France was like a plus 350 underdog, he was able to stuff almost every single one of those takedowns in the second and third round. Yes, he did get taken down early, got his back taken, got the body triangle put in, was put in some very questionable positions, threatened with a rear naked choke, but was able to defend it and also able to defend the takedowns the later the fight got. The longer the fight went, he was able to stop the takedowns of Askar Askarov and defend them. Against Brandon Moreno, he was able to defend, I believe, almost every single one of the takedowns against Moreno in that fight as well. When you look at his overall takedown defense, it's at an 87%. Takedown accuracy is at a 25%, but I mean, we know that Kai Kara is not really going to use his wrestling offensively. It's more used defensively. Takedown averages per a 15-minute fight, it's going to be 2.47 for Albazi. He's going to go for almost 3 takedowns per a 15-minute fight, which could mean that he gets 1 takedown and is able to control you from the top for the remainder of the round. So it's about 1 takedown a round. 1 takedown every round is about what that averages out to, but he only has a 50% takedown accuracy rate with a 66% takedown defense. I don't think we'll have to worry about the takedown defense of Albazi as much as we'll have to worry about the takedown defense of Kai Kara France here, but he's so good with the takedown defense that I think it's going to be hard for Albazi to be able to get those takedowns unless he's able to catch a low kick of Kara France, catch a body kick and get a takedown, a trip takedown, or time the low kick or body kick and come over the top with an overhand and then use it as like a sweep, but dropping him off the impact of the punch to catch the kick, fire a combo or fire a shot, and then get the trip takedown or the knockdown off of that and work from the top position. If Kai Kara France is put on the bottom against Amir Albazi, it is going to be trouble for him. Albazi's going to be the better grappler. He's going to have the better top position. He's going to have the better ground and pound. He's going to have the better submission upside. However, on the feet, yes, I think Albazi's good. He's a good 1-2, good hooks, really solid step and uppercuts, which is going to worry me against Kai Kara because he has, a problem with, covering up high and kind of ducking his head at certain points, but he uses a lot of fakes and feints to set everything up, and I think the fakes and feints and setups of Kai Kara France are going to give Albazi a lot of trouble. I think Kai Kara France is the much, much better technical fighter. I think Kai Kara France has faced the much better competition, but at the same time, Albazi hasn't been in the UFC for nearly as long as Kai Kara France, so you have to look at it at that as Albazi hasn't gotten the opportunity to face this high-level competition yet, and he's getting it with Kai Kara-France. Yes, Kara-France has been in there with the likes of Moreno, Pantoja, you name it, he's fought them in this division, Askar Askarov, Brandon Royval. But at the same time, Amir Albazi hasn't had the opportunity to face that high-level competition until now. So this is a big test and a litmus test for Kai Kara-France. But so far, he's passed the eye test. He has good striking, good counters off that rear side angle, good counters off the back foot, a good jab. Everything that Albazi throws, he has pretty good power. He's pretty defensively aware. I feel like he's able to guard up high and counter pretty good, decent counter ability, really solid uppercuts, good low kicks as well. He kind of lands that good calf kick, but I don't think he's going to want to go low kick for low kick against City Kickboxing, Kai Kara-France. The better timing is Kai Kara-France. The better combination is Kai Kara-France. He's very good at peeling your high guard down. So if you're using a traditional high guard, he'll touch, peel down the hand, come over with the overhand, pum, 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 peel it down, hook, uppercut, boom, 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 peel it down, hook, overhand. He's very good at guard manipulation, peeling your guard down. He mixes up his levels, uses a lot of level change feints. He's one of the most technical strikers. He might be the most technical striker in the flyweight division. And if the fight stays on the feet, aside from him getting caught with a big shot and hurt, which we've seen Kara-France get hurt before, we saw him get hurt with a spinning back elbow from Brandon Royval after he rocked him with an overhand. He rushed in, boom, got caught with a spinning elbow, got dropped. We saw him get finished with that switch kick to the body against Brandon Moreno. So he has issues to the body. So I think we might see the Prince and Amir Albazi, or Amir the Prince Albazi, look to use the jab, follow up with the straight right hand to the body, jab, left hook, maybe a right body kick, chop the low kick, jab, feint the right hand, land that left hook to the body, 2 left hook to the body, try to dig it in, land knees to the body if Kai Kara-France tries to close the distance. But I think it's more going to be Albazi trying to close the distance and push Kai Kara-France back, which is kind of going to play into the game of Kai Kara. But at the same time, he's a good counter striker. He has good backstep counters, but at the same time, he's not the best when he gets pressured. He's better when he's able to kind of make the reads, find the timing, and find the openings to land his cleaner shots. The cleaner fighter on the feet is 100% Kai Kara-France, but he has trouble getting pressured in multiple fights. We've seen him get pushed back, and if you're able to bully Kai Kara-France and back him up, he has trouble. He only really does his best work when he's in the driver's seat, when he feels like he has the momentum, when he's able to sap the life out of you, take the cardio out of you, push you back, and land the bigger shots. That's when Kai Kara-France does his best work, when he's in the driver's seat. If you're pushing him back, if you're landing the bigger shots, if you're hurting Kara-France isn't going to wilt, but he will slow down on the volume, and sometimes he will give up those rounds, like you saw in the first fight against Brandon Moreno in the second and the third round, and you saw in his last fight, coincidentally, against Brandon Moreno for the interim flyweight title at UFC. I believe it was UFC 277? I think 277, until he got caught with that switch left kick to the body, right in the liver, dropped and finished in the third round. I believe it was the third round. But at the same time, I think Kara-France is the better fighter. I think he's fought the better competition. I think the fakes and feints and the ability to mix up the levels in the striking is going to be the biggest problem for Amir Albazi. Albazi has good striking. He has good technique. He has a lot of power, but Kai Kara-France mixes it up. He changes the tempo. He's able to manipulate the guard. He's able to touch, pop, touch, bing, bing, bing. He goes 1-2 and then pops you with the jab to reset you. Bop, bop, boom. He'll go 2 and then pop you with the jab instead of the traditional 1-2. He's got good hooks, good counter left hooks, good low kicks. I think he's just a more well-rounded fighter, and judged off the fact that Kara-France does have vastly improved takedown defense, I don't think it's going to be that easy for Albazi to initiate his submission game and his grappling game, but we have seen Kai Kara-France get submitted in his career before. Out of his 10 losses, he's been finished 6 out of 10 times. Out of his 24 wins, 14 wins by finish, 10 wins by decision. Before he lost to Moreno, he was on a 3-fight win streak with wins over the likes of Rogerio Bontorin, Cody Garbrandt, and Askar Askarov. Knocked out Cody Garbrandt. Beautiful performance against Askar Askarov, and then lost with the body kick in the third round to Moreno. Before that, he lost via guillotine choke in the second round to Brandon Royval. So got submitted by Royval via guillotine. Lost the decision to Moreno in the first fight. Then got submitted via rear naked choke by Mark Striegel back in October of 2014. and then submitted with a Darce choke against Gustavo Fascioli back in May of 2014. So back-to-back submission losses, and then that guillotine choke submission loss to Brandon Royval. But I think when it comes to a pick, this is a very high-level fight. This is kind of a 50-50 fight because I see a lot of areas where Albazi can have success. I think the power of Albazi can give Kara-France trouble, but I think the technical ability of Kara-France, the ability to change up the timing, the guard manipulations, the peeling he likes to use when he throws his shots, peeling the opponent's guard down, and the ability to make reads throughout the fight and be the more technical and patient fighter, I think that does go on the side of Kara-France. The experience advantage is on the side of Kai Kara, but again, this is the toughest test of Albazi's career, and he's passed all of his other tests in his career as well. So this is really going to tell us where Albazi fits, where the Prince fits in the trajectory of the top in the flyweight division. But when it comes to a pick, I am going to side with the number 3 ranked Kai Kara-France. I think he's going to be able to outstrike Albazi. I think he's going to slow him down in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And I think eventually he's going to land a big combination. He's going to make him wilt. He's going to land a big shot, drop Albazi, and get him out of there. So give me Kai Don't Blink Kara-France to defeat Amir the Prince Albazi, handing him his first loss in the UFC via a 3rd round TKO. Actually, you know what? Yeah, 3rd round TKO victory. I could see a clean knockout, but I think Kai Kara-France has too much experience, and he's way better technically. And with his improved takedown defense, I think he gets Albazi out of there. So give me Kai Don't Blink Kara-France to defeat Amir Albazi, handing him his first loss in the UFC via 3rd round knockout victory.